Okay, everybody, Paul's Path here. The path that shows us how to be sober, you know. Got my diploma today, drugs and alcohol counselor. So we're all qualified there. I had that long ago, but I finally got it in the mail, so I'll just leave that right there. I was gonna say, we never talk about stories. Somebody emailed me today and said, how come you never talk about the stories? And I said, that's a good point. You know, that's a good point. Because Alcoholics Anonymous, how Alcoholics Anonymous, the language of Alcoholics Anonymous is from the heart, and it's about our stories, about our honest story. One alcoholic talking to another alcoholic, you know. It's about our story. So let's talk about Jim's story, okay, for a second. On page 35. I don't really have to, I've been doing this for a while. I sponsor hundreds of guys. I don't really need to look at it, but go to page 35, okay? At the very top, they're going to talk about what the crux of the problem is, okay? What's the main problem? What crux meaning like the main part? What is our main part of our problem? Is it the allergy? Is it when I start drinking I can't stop? Nah. Book says most powerful desire to stop. Absolutely no avail. I still have the allergy today. Thank God it's not my main problem. If I took a drink right now, man, I'd be in Cuba tonight. So I got some people watching today, some friends of mine from the Dominican Republic and stuff. And I got other people from around the world. I got people in Canada watching, and I got a lot of people texting me, you know, and telling me to keep up the good work. So I want to thank you guys right now for your donations and keeping this thing going. Like I said, we're going to be opening up a rehab. We got 4 qualified technicians, counselors, and the doctors, and we got the home. So we're basically we're looking for clients, and everything's set up. So give me a call, text, whatever information is going to be all in the video. If you need treatment, it's not going to be expensive like the United States, but we do have to pay everybody in the house. So anyway, just call me about the details on that. I'll make up a video on that. So anyway, so Jim's story, they're at the very top of 35, they talk about the crux of the problem is the mental state that precedes a relapse into drinking. For obviously they say obviously. It's not obvious in AA, but I'm not putting down AA. I'm just saying the success rate's not like it used to be. So anyway, don't get me started. People talking about getting a car, buying a book, like the promises are coming true because I got something. Like whatever happened to the promises is, you know, we'll lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. I guess some people tore at that page, but don't get me started. Okay, so the crux of the problem is the mental state that precedes a relapse. That's called the obsession. Okay, now here's what Jim did. Okay, Bob and Bill went to a hospital and they talked to Jim. And they talked to him about one thing, the obsession and the allergy, and how he didn't have the power to quit on his own. And then he said there's a solution, but they didn't get in too much into the solution or God. Okay, they just said there's a solution, which they did right. That's what you're supposed to do. Talk to the new guy about what the problem is, you know. So they talked to the new guy about the problem. It's right here in 35, right? And what happened is that he was convinced that he was an alcoholic, and he knew if he drank he'd end up going back to the institution and jail, and he knew he would lose his family all over again and lose his job. So he made a beginning. He got his job back. Now listen to this. He got a job, okay, working for a company that he used to own. Okay, that's important. But his family was back. He knew about the obsession and the allergy. He knew, but just like if I know about cancer, that doesn't mean I can cure it. I need to know what cancer is, then I got to take the medicine, okay? So what happened to Jim was he made a beginning, but he didn't keep taking his medicine because he failed to enlarge his spiritual life. So what happened then? So he's at work one day, I think it was a Tuesday, because he came in on a Tuesday, and he got in a little argument, he got in a little resentment, a little self-pity over with the new boss, right? The new owner of the company that he used to own. You know what I mean? He got out of there and he drove upstate, and then he stopped at a place with no thought of drinking. He knows what's going to happen if I drink again. I'm going to lose my family, my job, and everything again. So what happened is he drops into this place and he has a sandwich and a glass of milk. Then he has another glass of milk. And the thought, that mental state that precedes a relapse called the obsession, the thought said, you know what? I can control and enjoy my drinking if I just mix it with milk and food. That is what you call insanity. For a guy who just lost everything, thinks he can mix it with food and he'd be okay. Where did the obsession come from? Are we just crazy? Or did it come from him being restless, irritable, and discontent because he failed to enlarge his spiritual life? Ask yourself that question. That's the story. If you fail to enlarge your spiritual life or let up on the spiritual program of action, you're headed for trouble, you're going to drink, and you may never get sober again, you're probably going to die. That's the story. And if we don't learn from Jim's story, we're all in trouble. Love you all. Thanks for donating. We're getting things set up with the rehabs. Give me a text, call, whatever you can do. Get in. So love you all. I'm going out to do my day. I'm going out. I already did my morning readings, and I'm heading out.